Okay, so here's our problem. I'm looking for the value of x that will allow me to prove that the lines CD and EF are parallel. I know the measure of angle 1 is 4x plus 16, and I know the measure of angle 2 is 84 degrees. So where do I begin? What do I know? So what we're going to look at first is this. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the alternate interior angles are congruent. So what I'm saying is 1 and this angle here, these are my alternate interior angles. They are going to be congruent. I have that information. I also can say, because I'm still relating to 1, what's going to help me with 1? I also can say, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the corresponding angles are congruent. Corresponding are going to be 1 and this angle here. Now, one that I didn't write out, but we have a third thing that we can talk about in relation to angle 1. And we can say if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the consecutive interior angles are going to be supplementary. So I can relate to these two here and say they're supplementary. So I have a couple different ways, well, 3 different ways in which I can approach this problem. And so the first thing I want to do is make that decision. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start with alternate interior angles. That's one we use quite a bit. It makes a lot of sense to me. So we're going to start there. So if angle 1 is 4x plus 16, then I know this angle here is also 4x plus 16. So I can say this is 4x plus 16. And that's going to be degrees. Now, what good does that do me? Angle 1 is 4x plus 16. This angle is 4x plus 16. But I'm looking to solve for x, and I still don't know what to do. Well, this is where it helps me. I know that these two angles, 2 and this 4x plus 16, are going to be congruent. I know that angle 2 is 84 degrees. So I can go ahead and set up my problem now, and I can say that 4x plus 16 and 2, since they're supplementary, I can say 4x plus 16 plus the measure of angle 2, which is 84, is going to equal 180. That's my definition of supplementary angles. So I'll go ahead and add these up here. And this is 16 plus 84 is 100. So that gives me 4x plus 100 is equal to 180. I'll now subtract 100 from both sides. Subtract 100 from both sides. And that gives me, I'll come down here, that gives me 4x is equal to 80. Now I can divide by 4. Divide by 4. These cancel out. And x is going to be 20. So if x is 20 or 20 degrees, if x is 20 degrees, then these lines are parallel because 1 and this angle here is going to be alternate interior angles, and they're congruent. And 4x plus 16 and 2 are going to be supplementary, which is what I based my assumptions off of. So if x is 20, then CD is parallel to EF.